Hi, and welcome to episode 54 of Two Crafty Stitches. I am Sandy, also known as Knits and Bits, and it is February the 4th, 2017.
Yeah, and I'm Kelly, also known as Pearly Girl 75.
I completely forgot the date.
Totally forgot about me.
No, I knew about you. I just had to slip in the date because otherwise I would have forgotten. So it's been a few weeks because I went out of town. Then I got sick, and I didn't want to infect all of you.
And then I got sick without even being infected by you.
I know.
I don't know. Long distance infection.
I'm blaming the little kids at your school.
Probably.
Yeah.
The little kids.
The little
high
kids.
schoolers that are disgusting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I actually have some new stuff.
Okay. So do I.
Yay! So, first off, when I was up in Alabama, let me make sure I get the right bag. I was having a long, rough time. And so my last day, I was able to stop and go to a yarn store. And it was In the Making in Birmingham. And that is their address. They also gave me this free little pattern, which is really cute.
Oh, that is cute.
I know. So it was free, so everybody could just saw that.
Screenshot it real fast.
Hurry. Go back. So
it's not blurry at all from being moved around.
No, not at all. So I got some of that Perfect yarn. But look it's like browns and reds.
It is.
With some grays. It made me really happy. I really hope it's actually those colors. So otherwise it's not going to be as happy.
Oh.
The color is 07116.
Okay. A lovely color. Part of the spectrum.
So I don't know if you guys can... There we go. See that?
Yes.
So I really liked knitting the other one, so we'll see how those go. And then I found a I think it's somewhat local, because they had like these local dyers, but I don't know where this person was, but I really like this. It's the Evil Little Goat, or I guess Evil Little Goat, and the colorway is Foxy Lady on the Squishy Goat, which is superwash merino 4-ply fingering and 438 yards. So it's all like gray.
With little
but there's like
colors.
Speckles of spot and colors and like neon colors.
Yeah.
It made me so happy.
Cute.
So yeah, if you open it up, there's like a lot more. So
yes.
I have no idea what I'm gonna make with this, but it was calling my name. So I had to get it. It was a very cute shop. I really liked it. I wish I had more time and I wasn't, on death's bed.
Yeah.
Actually, that was before I got all really, really sick. But I was really close to it.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, I put in an order for Knit Picks.
Oh,
because you were there.
I was there when you ordered. I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're all like, oh, yeah?
Yeah. No, I was like, oh, yeah. Not, oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I was there.
So I got
the Panera.
Yeah,
you were ordering from Knit Picks.
Because I got this book. Because, well, I guess let me step back. It is a Twist and Tweed 2015 fall collection by Knit Picks.
Okay.
So it's a little bit old.
It's okay.
But I had.
I'm sure that the patterns don't have an expiration date on them.
I don't know. It might. It's saying you have to knit me now. Drop everything out.
Yes.
So I got it mainly because I like that pattern. It's the Harley. And I just love it. Even that little side slit. The collar.
And it looks like it has a hood, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have a hood. It just has a collar.
So you could just like tighten the collar really tight around your neck.
Strangle yourself. And I had some yarn picked out for that I found. But that yarn was worsted weight, and this calls for a DK.
Oh.
So that worsted weight.
So now you have to buy new yarn.
I know. I have to go through my stash. I might have something. So that worsted weight, I think I'm going to make the Herd.
Okay.
If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But it's a nice little cardigan with some cables. But they have a lot of cute little patterns in here, so I figured it was worth the $15 instead of me paying $5 a pattern.
Yeah.
So it's mainly like sweaters, cardigans. There's a few wraps, a poncho, a vest. So that's the majority of the patterns that there's pictures of. But I haven't started knitting it yet. But
Well, I mean, you
can't
just got
wait.
the book.
I know
So.
I got it, I think, on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I have something that's not mine.
Uh-huh.
That's yours.
Yes.
And it's not wrapped, but happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Because
Well,
Kelly's
thank you.
birthday
Is next Sunday.
I know,
A
it's
week from
coming
today.
up. So,
And we're going to go knit at Panera.
yes.
Thank you. So, it's just what I wanted. Because I was like, order me some of that when you place your order.
And I said, hey, that makes it easy.
Yes. So, this is the Knit Picks Felicie worsted in Goth Kitty, which I had to get because it's got pink in it. And you know what?
And purple.
Is really funny
Huh.
because I have no like work project to do, and so maybe I'll figure something out tonight to use this for a work project.
See, because I was like, maybe I'll wait. And I thought maybe she wants to knit something with it
You never know.
before Valentine's Day because it does have pink.
Yes,
So
I am knitting something pink right now, but I'm not taking it to work. But
No.
anyway.
Well,
Do you have
that's all my
anything
new
else?
stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think that's all my new stuff.
Okay. Well, I have something new that is from Sandy. This was my Christmas gift. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
That came in.
That finally got here. Yay.
Yeah.
And it is the sheep fingerless mitts pattern. I think I talked about it before because I showed you y'all the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now
Anyway,
here's the real
actual item is here now. So, yay.
thing. I can't wait to see how that turns out.
And then I bought some yarn because I know I haven't bought yarn in a while though.
I know.
And now I have like all this new yarn. Because I was on Facebook and Simply Socks Yarn Company was having a sale. It's a lot of S's right there. And it was like an end of season sale at the Simply Socks Yarn Company. So I ended up getting some Blue Moon Fiber Arts in the color Hugasmic, and it is 100% BFL, 405 yards, because I've never tried their BFL, and I thought, well, that was cool. And the colors are very, very bright. It doesn't look that bright on the screen.
But it
They're
is
really, really
very
bright.
bright. That pink is like icier
It
right at
is.
the end.
It's like and it's here too, and it's amazing. And then the other one I got is from it's Post Yarn, which is the and my dog is going crazy downstairs. It is the brand or the I don't know. Do you want to say I guess brand? The Simply Socks Yarn Company dyes their own yarn called Post Yarn. Anyway, so this is worsted weight, and it is in the color Ghost Town Multi, and it was 465 yards of worsted weight. And I think
I
that's
like
really
that
cool
one.
looking too. So, yes, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but I'm going to do something with it. So,
And I'm sure it'll be something amazing.
eventually, who knows when, but one of these years I'll be like, hey guys, remember that yarn I got?
Like 8 years ago?
Yeah.
I just found it.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's my life right now. So we were at, a couple weeks ago, I was at a show at the Strass Center, and one of my friends who was there was like, they're having a huge book sale at the library. There are signs everywhere. So we're like, okay, cool. Well, we'll stop by there at like the big downtown library. We'll stop by there after our show. Well, they were having a big book sale, but the library book sale is the second Saturday of the month, and it's from like 10 to 3, and our show was over at like 4. So they didn't have the big book sale where you can go downstairs into like the giant room of books.
Yeah.
They just had their little tiny bookstore that they have just on one of the main floors. I think it's on the main floor of the library, just a little teeny tiny bookstore. And so I was digging around in there, so I was like, well, let's look. And see what they have. And they had a spinning book that I don't have.
What?
And
That's amazing right there.
I know. And I paid $1.50 for it. And it is by Amy King, who is Spunky Eclectic, who dyes stuff and teaches classes and whatever. And I got to meet her at Maryland Sheep and Wool. But anyway, so it was a library book, and I was like, oh, it's a spinning book that I don't have. And it was less than $2. So I was like, I will purchase this.
That is amazing.
Let me tell you about the little store, though, because we're going back this coming Saturday for the big sale. we're going to make a trip downtown to go to the big sale. Plus, like the old Tampa Book Company downtown is, I don't know if they're going out of business, but they're having serious like maintenance issues in their building and they have to clear all their books out. So they're going to have sidewalk sales every Saturday the next, like, till they're out of books, I guess, or
Really?
most of their books.
Oh.
So we're going to go do that. And so we were in the library. And there was this little lady that, because the people that work there are volunteers that work in the little bookstore in the library, and you could tell she was volunteer, but she was sitting there on her phone the whole time having this whole conversation about her relationship with some guy and all this type of stuff as we're walking around. Like, we stayed in that little bookstore longer than we had intended to because we were just listening to her conversation. And then right before we were ready to pay, she left. And
so you didn't get to hear the end?
I know. Well, no, she hung up eventually, and she was like, oh, there's a lot of people in the store right now. Like, we had been in there for half an hour at least. But anyway, like, there was our group of, like, 4 of us plus, 3 or 4 other people, too. So, so she left, and of course, like, when you pay, it's just a little donation box on your way out. So It's not really a manned place. They just happen to have someone there to answer questions, but it's kind of hard to ask questions when she's on the phone the whole time.
Did you have questions?
No, I didn't. But if I had, I would not have been able to get an answer, would I? No, because she was busy on her phone. Really loud in the library.
You can just like interrupt them and say, "Excuse me,
you could have,
miss,
but whatever."
ma'am."
Anyway, so that's it for my new stuff. Yes.
I have finished objects, and I know you do too.
Yes, I do.
So the first ones are ones that I was supposed to mail out, but I didn't because I went out of town. But it's been a week.
Yeah.
Since I finished these, including like weaving in the ends.
They look really blue.
It's because they are really
I know,
blue.
but I mean, they look really blue there.
So,
like a really pretty blue on the camera.
I think they are pretty blue, but
anyway.
So they're fingerless gloves for my dad.
Yeah.
And they're like a guy size. So it makes me look like I have super, super small fingers. When I posted the picture that you took on the Ravelry page, they're like, it looks like you have baby hands. So, yeah.
Yes.
They're very comfy. I need to send it to him so he can use them while they're still cold out there in Kansas.
It snowed in Kansas today.
Today? Oh, I haven't talked to him yet today. Yeah. So I don't know.
Because I follow someone on Instagram in Kansas, and it was either yesterday or today it snowed, and they posted video.
So my other thing is, it's been like 2 weeks maybe.
Okay.
I finally finished plying.
Oh, yay.
This, I have no idea what kind of fiber it was. Because it's been like 3 months.
Is that the one that I gave you?
I think
from Maryland Sheep and Wool, and it was by Nitty and Color.
That sounds right.
And the colorway was Mykonos, but I have no idea what the fiber was.
There we go. That's. I think that's what it is. But
yes.
Yeah, so.
But I have no idea what type of fiber it was either.
I think I'm missing some of it because I think some was on a drop spindle.
Oh,
and I need to find it. But like this is like 400 and some yards.
Okay.
So I didn't use my little thing. I think it's like what, fingering to light fingering.
Yeah.
Because I noticed with this, because I did some on the spindle, some on the spinning wheel, and my spindle spinning is way, way thin compared to the spinning wheel.
So is mine.
Like crazy amount.
Yeah.
And then my other one, it's huge. Like the people
something hanging off of it. Like fuzzes.
Yeah, has a lot of fuzzes.
Yeah.
And I think that will be. Oh, that's also part of like one of the dog toys, I think.
Oh.
Some of that. So the dog, let me take a step back. Like a year ago, I started making this, and it is a huge king-size blanket.
Yes.
Made out of. This is just the quarter of it.
I'm like, you were smacking me with it.
Well, I figured you would help.
I was trying to see it.
Yeah. So.
Yes. I wanted to see like how thick it was with a single ply of the blanket. Not like, I wanted to see if it was like heavy or what, like a weighted.
It's really not that heavy. It's very light and airy.
It is.
And warm.
It is very warm.
It is very warm. And that's why I figured you didn't want it on your lap.
I know.
It is made out of homespun, thick and quick,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how many skeins. I'd have to count the colors,
Yeah.
but I got it done. It
Mm-hmm.
fits a king size bed with the dogs under it because they love it. They love cuddling with it.
Yeah.
I did wash it before I got here because I had it out. It was all ready and clean, and one of the dogs decided that he was going to cuddle on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I like it. I don't think I would work with it again because it's so pilly. Like
Yeah.
the
it is
stuff's
kinda
yeah.
silly.
So, but it's so soft.
Yeah.
And I really did like knitting with it laying on top of me when it was all cold and this was warm,
Yeah.
and when I was sick I was knitting on it a little bit in the bed and then I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
I like
End
the
up with
pattern.
like a knitting needle jabbed in your side or something.
No, because I was really good at like putting the knitting needles in like the skein of yarn
Oh.
and then putting that
okay.
under the pillow.
Oh, okay.
So that way the dogs wouldn't eat it.
Yes.
Because I went through how many knitting needles with this thing?
I don't even know. Too
Yeah.
many to count.
So, that is all my finished objects that I brought with me.
Well, I have a couple, and this one I don't remember if I talked about before, and I probably did, but I have the second one. So, I know, and they're totally different sizes. I know. It's amazing. Anyway, so this is the Copycat CC beanie that I had made a while ago, and it's out of Barocco Flicker, and I followed the pattern as written, and it does fit on my head because it's stretchy. But I went ahead and made another one because I had a friend who was like, "Oh, I really like your hat. I want one too." So
we're gonna keep holding this up.
So this is the one I made. It's supposed to be slouchy. This one obviously is slouchier. I went up one needle size. Different. Only one. And I also changed the pattern because I looked, my friend has one of these original CC beanies or whatever. And this pattern that is free online called for Knit One Purl One. And I changed it to be more like her actual hat, which is a brioche in there. But it's kind of sparkly and whatever. And tomorrow when I go see Heidi at the Straz, I can give her that one because that one will fit her head.
I know, because it fit my head.
Yes, it's, it fits my head, but this one fits my head better.
It's not slouchy. This is very beanie-ish.
Yeah.
That's
but when
okay.
I had that one and I pulled it out and put it on or whatever, she was like, "Oh, I like that. I want one." And I was like, "All right, so cool." Because I had enough yarn to make another one. I still have enough yarn probably to make a third one if I really wanted to. But
out of the same skein?
Yeah. Well, no, because I had 3 skeins.
Oh, okay.
Because I had bought it like really cheap at a yarn store that was going out of business in St. Pete, and I bought 3 skeins of it. And it's like you can't tell in the pattern, you can't tell when you knit with it, but the yarn itself is like all chained. It's not plied.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like my that Lindy chain thing that I had.
Okay.
The purple shirt that I knit. The vest with the split down the back.
Okay. I didn't know that was like, that the yarn was not plied, it was like chained.
Yeah, it's all chained, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what this is. But anyway, so then I was like, well, what else am I going to work on at work? Because at my stuff. Yes, I know. This is a slouchy hat made out of my hand spun, because Sandy was like, "Why don't you use some of your hand spun? Why did you used to do something like a hat?" Because I was like, "But I don't have that many yards."
I do like that color.
And so it is, and look how much I have left. What am I going to do with that? Anyway, what?
You can make some like little hand warmers.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Hobbledehoy Smooth Sailing. I had like 314 yards and the pattern called for 200 yards. So I was like, oh, okay. But look at how much I have left. This is, I'm sure, more than whatever. And I made it exactly according to the pattern and everything. It was the Knit Night hat is what it was called.
I don't know what that is.
It's a free pattern that was on Ravelry. And so it's got like a little decorative, like, whatever, edging, which you can't really see because it's way back here. But anyway, yeah. And then the rest of it is just like knit around and it's slouchy. So yeah, so I worked on that like during lunch and stuff.
Just a question, because that's not all ribbing. Is it loose around the brim or?
It's not ribbing at all. Well, I mean, there is some ribbing, but it's just supposed to fit kind of slouchy. I don't know. It's a smaller needle size there too. I don't know.
Hey, put it on. Let me see it.
I'm gonna mess up my hair. Yeah, see, it fits.
Okay. I don't know. I don't do good with slouchy hats. I always feel like they're gonna fall
I
off.
have to do slouchy hats because I have a big head and lots of hair.
You have a lot of hair.
So, anyway, so that's, I used some of my hand spun, and I think I spun
Yay.
this on the spindle. I'm pretty sure that this was spun.
I
On the
like that
spindle.
yarn.
So, well, I have more of it to figure something else to do
And it
with.
struck up
So,
really nicely.
It did, because it's, I did chain plying on it when I spun it. But anyway, so, because I pulled out like all of my yarn. And I was like, what do I have and how much do I have? All the stuff that I've spun and to figure it out. And I was like, oh, I'll just make something out of this. So that's what I did. So those are my finished things.
Awesome. So I guess our works in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my soon-to-be works in progress that is not, I think I'm gonna, so I have a pair of socks somewhere on the needles. Keyword is somewhere. The last month with traveling and work, I think I put them in my yarn, like cubby cabinet thing, and I don't know where. And it's of course in a camouflage bag.
Of course, so you'll never see it.
So it
Well, you
takes
will.
me
It will. You'll see it when you least expect it, and it will jump out at you.
You'll be like, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
So I don't have any socks that I'm currently working on,
Mm-hmm.
and I need a small project to put in my bag.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably be casting on some socks, but I don't know what pattern yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the great question.
Yeah.
But my current works in progress, I have a baby blanket that I'm working on that kind of looks like a slouchy hat.
It does look like a slouchy. I was wondering. I was like, what is that? Oh,
Yeah. It's my baby blanket.
it's a slouchy hat that would fit on my head.
That's not for me, for my friend. It is the, I'm gonna just butcher this, the Ondas,
I have no idea.
aka fiber crack pattern.
Oh,
It's
okay.
ONDAS. It's fiber crack because apparently when you start working on it, you can't stop.
Oh,
And
so it's like crack.
it is for yarn. It's a free pattern on Ravelry.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's see. That looks like it's kind of a little bit more. Yeah. So I am making it out of some sort of yarn.
Yes.
It's that big cake of yarn.
The mandala.
Yes, out
Lion
of
brand.
Sphinx. So she's going to be having a little baby boy.
Mhm.
So very boyish colors.
Yeah.
And we'll see if you guys can.
But like modern boyish colors, not
Yeah.
like typical baby blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the
Pastels.
center,
No.
and then it's coming out like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just getting onto like the second repeat. And there's like a little lace pattern right there, and then the lace pattern's going to get bigger.
Okay.
So
Pretty.
we'll see. It's hard to see on
On your
the small
needles.
needles. So I'm working on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is half of my owl for my Harry Potter knit and crochet
Yeah.
house cup. It's easier for me to say that than remember the
Yeah.
acronym. The other
Because
one,
you'd have to say it to remember the acronym.
I know,
So might as well just
like
say
H
it. HP. Harry Potter.
KC HC. Sadly, that's what I do every time.
Yeah.
The other one is a 10-stitch blanket, just like this big monstrosity. It's just not going to be as big.
Yeah.
I have a good bit. I have one skein done with the yarn right in front.
Mhm.
So when I'm knitting it, I don't see that it's, that you can see it, but I can see it a lot better here. Like, I feel like it was all blending in.
Oh yeah.
But that is made out of whatever this is. The Barcelona loops and thread out of Dusk.
Aha.
So, yeah. So I'm liking how this is coming out.
Yeah. It's very
I'm
nice.
just wondering if one more is going to be big enough for a little throw, or if I'm going to have to
You might have
throw
to
in a
buy one
third.
more. Yeah.
So we'll cross that bridge when
Yeah.
we come to it. That's my Okay, I'm sitting here in the dark knitting because I only have to
Sitting
go.
here in the dark, knitting this dark project.
Well, it's only 10 stitches.
Yeah.
Going back and forth, and it's normally
Out of like yarn that's like a boucle type yarn almost.
You know, I don't do things easy.
I know.
It's either that or I'm trying to do this pattern in the dark.
Yeah.
Dark-ish, because Josh is like trying to show me stuff in his cave and can't really see anything.
Yeah.
Then I'm just, go for something easy.
Yes. Well, I have one project I'm working on because I gotta find another project to do. And it is my Martina Bem Belle Rose shawl.
I don't know why it's not like picking up the pinks
Mess,
very
I
well.
know. I don't know. We don't
'Cause
have all
this
of our
is
lights
like-
turned on either that we normally do because I was too lazy to put them up. So
Pink.
it's my fault. I will own that one. But anyway, so I don't know.
That didn't work.
No. Well, even when I took a picture of it and posted it on Instagram, it doesn't look that pink either. But it's because it was
Oh.
at night in my bedroom that's kind of dark. But anyway, so
It's all dark.
Yeah.
You could be sitting there working on some dark yarn.
so it's some Wool Mice twin in the I don't know. Wherever I got it from, I don't know if I got it as a D-stash or whatever, but they had it listed as something like ballet, something or another, but like the colorway is just like a number. So
I think that was one of your D
I think it was a D-stash I bought. Because we had that person who was at our knitting group who went to Germany,
Yes.
remember, and bought, well, I was like, let me order, buy me some. And she did, and I asked for a green and a pink. She got me this gorgeous green, which I had made into like a hitchhiker or a trillion. I think it's a trillion. And the pink that she bought me was almost red.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, and I made something out of it, but it like, or no, I asked for pink and she brought me purple. That's what it was. It wasn't the red. It was like the purple one, which I made like a hitchhiker trillion
was
or a
pretty
lentilla or
still.
something, and it was very, very pretty. But I had wanted a pink, and so I go to pink from a D-stash. So,
Not just a pink, but
a pink. So anyway, so that's what I'm working on now, at home, not at work, because I do need to focus on it a little bit. But anyway, it was one of her club patterns that is now available on Ravelry for like $5 or $6. And so, because I had to knit something pink because I am in a show. Not that I'm knitting it for a show, but because I'm going to be in a show, Legally Blonde, and it's all about pink.
yay!
So I was like, let me knit on something pink. And I was like, maybe I can work on it during rehearsals when I'm sitting around. And then I was like, no, I need to focus on this too much. So, and
See,
Lucy has
even
made my
Lucy
appearance.
loves the blanket and me.
And your face. Yes. Lucy's getting a haircut on Friday. So, because Friday is State Fair Day, so I am off work. But anyway, this is really interesting for people to watch too, I'm sure.
Oh.
Oh, she look, you threw her off the futon.
It's not my fault. She
Threw her from the futon.
She can come back up on my lap.
Maybe she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to be violently thrown off the futon.
Oh,
down
she
onto
does.
onto the floor.
My dogs don't mind it.
So anyway, so
I-
she's looking scruffy today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. She's still cute.
Yes.
Ugh.
In
Dogs
her
flying
scruffiness.
everywhere.
Yep.
So I guess that's our knitting portion of it.
Yes.
Was there anything else that
It's Super Bowl Sunday, but I'm not
did John
watching.
get that shirt?
What?
Did he get it? I can't remember.
Which one?
The one that's like go
Game day.
team.
No, it says game day and has a football on it. Yes, he wore it on Friday to our social.
You should have wore it today.
I know,
You
I
should
told
have it
him.
on right now.
I said you could wear it, and blah blah blah, and he's like,
Why are you holding her away from me?
Because I don't want her to get over there and be thrown down.
There we go. She just likes the blanket. She's like, this is so awesome. Look at this blanket. You should make me one
Yeah. Mhm.
to you.
She has blankets.
But not this one.
No, she has her
Yes.
own blankets. Anyway.
There we go. So I
Um,
guess this is the portion that's not knitting.
Yes. So anyway, as I was trying to segue into, and then we
Oh,
had
yes.
the dog attack. So
Yes.
anyway, so
My God, Blonde.
yes, so there's a local community theater company, and I auditioned because I have not auditioned for a show in like 20 years, and I was like, hey, why not? So I auditioned. So I have like a small little part, well, 2 small little parts, but hey, it's my first audition in like 20 years, so that's awesome because I had a call back and everything. But so I'll be playing the judge in Legally Blonde in addition to playing the mother of Elle. And let me just tell you that when I was talking to my mom about it, I was like, they cast me as the mom, and my mom's like, okay, and I was like, but Elle is like going to law school, and my mom's like, but you're old enough to have a daughter who's going to law school, and I was like, but they cast me as the mom who has a kid going to law school, and my mom's like, well, you'll just have to be a very young looking mother, and I said, okay. I needed like validation for you're not that old, but apparently
She wouldn't give it to you.
she was like, well, you'll be a very young looking mother, and I said, okay. But I'm also playing the judge because like the mom's part is like 30 seconds or whatever, and then at the end I get to be the judge. And she's trying to eat your blanket. That's why she wants it so bad, because she wants to chew on it.
But she's like, I smell the other animals.
So I have rehearsals starting for that this week. And also, speaking of theater, this is like, Sandy's like, I don't really care, but our
I care about yours.
I know. Our theater I know, because you're coming to see Legally Blonde.
I am.
Even though you've already seen the show.
Opening day.
You've already seen our show. You've seen the show too.
I think that
when
would
we
be
did it
the-
at the high school.
Yeah, but you weren't in it.
I know, I was not in it. No, but one of the kids from the high school where I worked who was in that production is in this production.
Which one?
What? Oh, when he played Dewey in the other one, so he was like ex-boyfriend of Paulette, and now he's playing Kyle, the UPS guy / soon-to-be boyfriend of Paulette.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's sticking with Paulette.
I guess. But anyway, which I went out for the role of Paulette because Paulette is 35 to 45, and they went a little younger in that casting. But anyway,
Well, better.
yeah, I was like, but okay, there's a show with people in my age group. Okay, cool. But anyway, so our local performing arts center, the Straz Center for the Performing Arts, today announced their season for next year, which starts in October. Their 18-19 season, and we are getting, so far they've only announced 7 of the 8 shows because one of them's like a small little show, but the 7 shows that they've announced I'm very excited about, which is really good because the past 2 seasons I have not been that impressed. And the only reason I bought season tickets this season was because they said you had to have season tickets this season and renew them next season in order to be able to see Hamilton when it comes next season. And I had already seen 3 of the shows that were coming this season, so I was like, oh, well, now I have to buy them. Well, guess what? If you had, even if you were like, hey, I have never been a subscriber to the season, but today they announced the season and there's Hamilton. If I bought season tickets today brand new without renewing them or whatever, I'd still get to see Hamilton, which that kind of pisses me off because I'm like, but you told us we had to buy last season plus this season. And now people who are brand new subscribers this season get to see it too.
Maybe they didn't have enough.
I don't think so. Because I don't think so because they did say that like for new season tickets that there is a very limited amount of new season tickets. And one of my friends who called me because this morning to ask me all sorts of questions because she had never bought season tickets. She was like, let me ask you, blah, blah, blah. She was like, I was looking online and she said like the cheap seats where I sit for Tuesday and Thursday, all the season tickets are already gone. Yeah. Like as of today. Like they just announced the season today. So those are already gone. So I think she was like, so I could go like Wednesday night to be in that price range because it costs more on the weekends. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, what are you doing on the phone with me? Order your tickets. But anyway, so we're getting some really good shows. We're getting Come From Away, Hello Dolly, Anastasia. We're getting The Play That Goes Wrong, and A Bronx Tale, and Dear Evan Hansen, which they're saying is like headlining the season, which I think is kind of funny that they're saying that since like all their advertisement the past year and a half has been Hamilton's coming. And we are getting Hamilton as part of our season. But they're also like Dear Evan Hansen. But I think it's because it just like last year won a whole bunch of Tony Awards. So they're also like trying to capitalize on that, which I mean, you can't blame them for that. But anyway, So there's only one. That's the only show that I've already seen. So I only have one repeat show next year, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah, if I had gone on the New York high school trip this past January, I would have already seen like 4 of the 8 shows. So, and then I would have been paying like premium prices to see Hamilton. But, you know, because like the prices for the season tickets, of course, went up for Hamilton. Well, for the whole season because of Hamilton. But, you know, what can you do? Because it's going to be here for a month, but season ticket holders are seeing it the first week, and then the last like 3 weeks it's here. It's first come, first serve whenever the tickets go on sale, but they don't even know how much they're pricing them at right now. So, so that does not look, you know, that does not bode well for people who are just like, I just want to see Hamilton. Plus, who knows like how many are going to be available and, you know, all that stuff. Because people will come from like, not just Tampa, but from the surrounding counties and whatever. Like there are people from Orlando who were online in a few of the theater groups that I'm in on Facebook that were like, your season looks so good. I'm driving from Orlando. I'm going to buy season tickets and come from Orlando to see all the shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very excited because, like I said, the past couple of seasons I've been like, meh about most of it. So I went ahead and renewed my tickets today.
Now, question for you.
Yes.
Is A Bronx Tale also a movie?
Yes, it is.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Because I think I've seen the movie.
I have not seen either, but the Broadway production of the musical, because it's a movie with Chaz Palminteri, who is some actor, writer, person. I don't know. He was in the audience of Dear Evan Hansen when we saw it. Someone pointed him out. I'm like, I don't know who that is. But anyway,
you're saying that to the wrong person.
I know.
Here.
So, but the Broadway production of it was directed by Robert De Niro. So,
I know who he is.
yes. But
what?
That's one of the shows that the kids just saw in New York last month. When they went on their trip. They saw that. So, yep. But yeah, it was a movie first. I've never seen it.
I think I've seen the movie. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's about like the 1960s and the Bronx.
Yeah.
Hence it being called A Bronx
And there's
Tale.
a tale.
Oh, Anastasia is the other one we're getting that I forgot to mention.
Yes.
Yes.
I have nothing exciting like that going on. I have my standard work.
Yeah. I finally finished Stranger Things season 2, but I don't know if I talked about that last time or not.
I don't know.
And I'm caught up on The Magicians.
I am
television-wise. I caught up yesterday. I had 2 episodes. I was like, I thought I was only 1 episode behind, but nope, I was 2 behind.
So then I'm like 3 or 4 behind.
Yeah, because there's 4 episodes. Well, there's a 4 out. So
okay, so I'm 3 behind.
Yeah.
I saw the first one, but I got sucked into the Hallmark Channel show that's been on Netflix.
I don't know what that is.
It's I always get the name wrong because it just doesn't sound right. It's like When Calls the Heart or Calls When the Heart. I don't know. Okay,
I don't know.
Like it's not bad. It's a cute little movie. Now I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna bother me. Calls. I can't even type. Oh my gosh, I cannot type. It's searching. Yeah, When Calls the Heart.
Oh, I don't know.
It just, I don't know, the whole name. But it's like an American-Canadian television series, and it's like set in like the Canadian frontier in the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's Mounties and all that. But everybody has an English accent. There's no Canadian accents. So that confuses me.
That does sound confusing.
Yes, because I keep on going like, well, are they in the United States? Like, no, wait, there's a Mountie. It's Canada. And I have to keep on reminding myself that. But
yeah,
I caught up on everything that's been Netflix because I started watching that when I was sick.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just binged it. But
and you watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I did.
Didn't you? Yes.
Yes, I finished that. That was pretty good.
Yes, I really enjoyed that one.
Yes.
So,
I would recommend that.
Yes. Well, with a disclaimer that there's a lot of language and adult stuff that is talked about or whatever. So.
Yes, and also some people might think that it's trying to be very stereotypical of people, but it's not just of a certain group of people, it's of the times.
Right. And and it's on Amazon Prime, so you have to have Amazon Prime to watch it. So.
Yes.
Yep.
or find somebody that has Amazon Prime to watch it.
Yeah. Well, it won a bunch of Golden Globes, and then that weekend they streamed it for free.
And so I watched it all that.
Yeah,
like
because I was
during
like,
one day,
you
I'm
have
like,
to watch it. You have to
okay.
watch it because it's for free, and you can watch it now.
And you've been homesick, not doing anything. So
and I think there were only like 8 episodes anyway, or something. It's a very short season. So yeah, so you've seen that. So
I have been I told you last week, I think it was. I've started listening to a podcast that's on Spotify, and it's called Lore. And there's like 70 some episodes. I want to say like 78. I'm in the 60s already.
Oh my goodness.
Within like a week and a half. And they're only like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And there's like a few minute like advertisement towards the end.
Well, are you listening to it like while you're driving around and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because 20 minutes is something that you can do. But, like, I'm still on, like, haven't even finished season 4 of Will and Grace. But that's because, like, I have to watch it, like, here.
Yeah, when you're here.
Yeah.
No, because I, like, was driving back and forth to different places. I honestly don't remember how I got into it. Like, I know I was on Spotify and it said podcast, and I was, like, the first one, so I'm like, well, let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
And it's about, I guess, the lore and the history behind it, and he goes into, you know, ones that are obviously fake, that have been proven that they're fake. We'll go into that. And the other ones, he's like, well, you know, this is how it could have happened, or it could be real. There might be a ghost there. I don't know. So it's very well put together. Apparently, back in whatever time frame the 60s episodes were put in, he started a television series on Amazon.
Oh,
So I need to look into that.
Yes.
And he has books and does like tours and everything. So it's apparently a very well-known podcast that I never heard about. I don't know. I would recommend it if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been besides the Magicians?
I don't even know. Well, obviously This Is Us, which I was telling you about before, and you're like, I've never heard of this. So I'm like, I've talked about it. I don't know. I've talked about it on the podcast, on episodes.
Yes, but that was like...
So it's Super Bowl Sunday,
a
and if
while
you're
ago.
a fan of This Is Us, it's like a big day because like tonight is a huge episode that's coming on at like 10 o'clock at night or whatever time the Super Bowl's over. So when we're done with this, I need to make dinner, eat dinner, and take a nap so I can wake up to watch the show because I get up early and tomorrow's a long day because tomorrow I get to go to the Strauss Center to the kickoff party for the next season where they'll have like people performing songs from the shows that are coming. And then I can't think of anything else that I've really been watching.
What about reading?
Last year I started reading the Harry Potter books again at some point during the school year, and then like around book 4 I stopped because the school year was almost over and whatever. So I'm like halfway through the 5th one now, through Order of the Phoenix.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I've been reading. I have a book that I'm reading, but I've also been too lazy to carry a little hardback book in my bag with me from class to class on the off chance that I might have a few minutes. Whereas I have the Harry Potter books in my Kindle, and that's a lot smaller and doesn't, you know.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take
Yeah, and plus like a lot of my classes this semester don't really have a lot of time to sit and read. So like really it's like one of my classes I have time. And so I'm not going to drag like my hardcover book, which I have at school. And it's the book called Frog Kisser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is really cute. And I've read a couple chapters of it, but I also don't feel like putting it in, and it's not even that big. It's like this, but it's a hardcover, and you know.
Yeah.
Dragging it around the whole school is not my idea of a good time. So when I can have my Kindle and, you know. So I actually just bought a book on Kindle too to read, I guess whenever I'm done with the Harry Potter, and it is by Alice Hoffman, and it's called The Rules of Magic, and it's a prequel to Practical Magic. You know, like the movie Practical Magic, which was a book first. And I've read the book. I've seen the movie and I've read the book, but it's a prequel to that just came out recently. So
I have not read that book.
Yeah. Oh, the book Practical Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have on audiobook the Dwellers series, and so I am on somewhere in, I think, the first book of that.
Mhm.
No, first or second, I don't remember. I don't know. It's a trilogy, so
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in that trilogy. And then, during that Amazon Prime free week
Mhm.
or weekend,
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Man in the Castle.
Yes, Man in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle. Okay, that first episode was really good.
Yes, the whole series is really good so far.
I can't watch
There's
it.
like
so.
2 or 3 seasons.
I know.
Either 2 or 3 seasons.
Because I'm
waiting for the next season because it was so good.
So I'm gonna probably pick up the book to read it.
I have a copy of the book. I haven't read it though because it's supposedly very different from the TV series. So.
Yeah, but I haven't seen. I've only seen the first episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the book being really good, but I can also see it like dragging on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
The book's only like this big.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just one book?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who do not know what Man in the High
This
Castle
is the one I was talking about on the podcast on an episode before that I was starting to watch in the gym.
Oh, okay.
On my iPad, and there were like Nazis everywhere, all because it takes place like during after World War II, and it's like what would happen if America lost in World War II, and America's divided in half of like a third of America is like controlled by Nazis, and a third is like by Japan, and then there's like the neutral zone in the middle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a really interesting premise, and I've heard good things about it, blah, blah, blah. So I put it on my iPad, which I have like, not a giant one, but an iPad Air or whatever. It's a pretty big one. And I put it on there. I downloaded the first episode from Amazon Prime, and I stick it on the elliptical at the Crunch gym and have my headphones in and start playing it, and all you can see are like swastikas and Nazis all over my screen. And I was like, the person next to me or people walking behind me are probably like, what is wrong with this person? So I quickly like changed it to watch something else.
Yeah, I would have just kept on watching it.
Yeah,
but
no. Well, seeing as how like the gym is right next to my place of employment currently, you never know who would be in there. So, and especially since it was before I started working there, I didn't want someone in the hall to be like, oh, that's that person who goes to the gym and watches Nazi, propaganda.
That's a Nazi.
Yeah. Well, but I ended up watching it at home. And at the apartment gym where no one sees you.
Yeah. At my last office building, every time I would go into the gym, somebody would always put on like the news, and it would be like CNN.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you can work out the CNN. I mean, those of you that can,
well, that's like
great.
At the gym, like some of the gyms, like if you go at the UFit that we used to go to, they have the little individual TVs that are in the machines. But if you go to like where I go to Crunch, I haven't been in a while, but anyway, I'm going this week. I have Friday off, I can go. But anyway, when you go there, they have like this few big TVs, and then you can like hook your headphones in and listen to what's going on the big TVs. But they have like one of them's on like CNN, one was on either Fox News or MSNBC, and the other one is on like HGTV, and it's people like remodeling houses all day. And I can't work out to that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
But so every time I would go into that gym, I'd be like the only one there. Yeah. And so I would change it. And the only thing like during that time that was somewhat entertaining was like the History or Discovery Channel, and it was like, about tanks or about airplanes or about Nazis.
Yeah.
So people would like come in towards the end, and they're like, who's watching this? I'm like, I am. I'm not listening to it, so it's on mute because I'm listening to my music. But, but it's a lot more entertaining to watch than like two people just sitting there like us, I guess. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to work out to us.
No.
Yeah.
If you are working out to us, let us know, because like I'm very interested in.
Yeah, that takes a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
So go you guys.
But anyway, so that's about it for me for reading and watching and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. So you can find us on social media. We are on places that I can't think of because it's been a while. Yes, we each have our own individual Instagram accounts, and mine is PearlyGirl75.
And I am Knits and Bits.
And we also have our videos on YouTube, Two Crafty Stitches, the Crafties with a K, and we also have them on our blog, which is twocraftystitches.wordpress.com. And we also have Two Crafty Stitches as a Twitter. I have my own individual Twitter also, but it's not that exciting.
I have my own individual Twitter as well, and I just use it to stalk everything that's going on.
I use mine to like complain about stuff, like the injustices of things that are, and I don't mean to say that like social injustice. I mean like when I was trying to get an interpreter for my husband for a concert, you know, or you know when we go to a restaurant and we're like, this is how we were treated, or whatever.
Or having Marriott wake me up every single day at 1 o'clock after I've been asleep for 2 hours.
Yeah. So.
Because I was working the night shift. I should have tweeted that, but I didn't.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's it, I think.
Yep, I think that is everything. So, and I am at 40 rows now. Yay.
All right.
Happy crafting, everyone.
Bye.